This time on Woody's garage. More work on his 6 horsepower Johnson.
Okay, we've cleaned off most of the crap off the head just with a regular scraper, and it's done a pretty good job. So now there's a piece of glass down here. It looks dirty. I know it doesn't really look like glass, but believe me, it is. And some fine sandpaper. And unfortunately this thing's kind of in the way, but I don't feel like destroying that gasket, so we have limited movement. Usually what I try to do is move in a figure-8 pattern, which is kind of what I'm doing here. It's not a very big figure-8. And we'll get the rest of the gasket material off, and in time we'll see if it's sanding smoothly across all surfaces, if there are any valleys or anything like that. I don't feel like any rocking or anything like that, so. And yeah, I mean, I put some oil on the sandpaper. And this, in a way, this is the easy part. The part on the engine is going to be hard, and I don't want to go out and do it today because it's really hot and humid again. Yeah, I don't really see any valleys or anything. It's good. I'm just going to do it for a while longer. We got it right down in the glass now, and checking it for rocking or whatever, and I don't perceive any at all, so I think it's good. Well, I decided to come outside in the shade and do it. You gotta look and see what it's like. And I'll show you what it's like after a lot of scraping. Okay, that feels good and smooth. No gashes. Anything like this is really just stains. Oh, I chipped that off, so I'm lying. Up there, it feels totally smooth. Did around here too. Got paper towels in the jugs. Before we assemble it, we'll bring out the air tank and blow everything out. Blow out the cylinders, they got a little gack in them. A little carb cleaner just to get some of the carbon off, maybe. Although I suppose we could do that now. Let's do that. Yeah, I think that's good enough. One thing I noticed, that line right there, but you see it on the other side too. Just a casting line, I guess. I thought it was a crack for a minute until it got a little cleaner. But that's ready for a gasket. Yeah, it should be all ready for the head gasket. You know, I'm glad I did that, because usually when you get the head gasket, you do a half-assed job getting rid of the old gasket crap just because you want to put it together so fast. So we'll be all ready for it this time. We'll start it up and see if it needs an impeller, which could have probably, or might have been a problem why the head gasket went. Because if it's not getting water, it would overheat and something's got to go. Well, another day I should be working on the house, but we got a new gasket that came in from eBay. Here's the old one. There's a new one. They look the same. One thing that I've noticed when I've replaced these gaskets on outboard motors is this metal rim right here. And whenever I take off the old one, there's no evidence of one ever being there. Isn't that strange? We'll get these bolts cleaned up and ready to go. Okay, I'm guessing I got two shorties. This is to hold something else on. I think it was like over here or something. It looks like the two shorties probably go here, and the rest of them are long like that. I got this thing. I made this a million years ago. to put screws in their right order. You know, you kind of make it look like the head there. But hey, I didn't use it. I'm going to take the vacuum cleaner, although it doesn't look like there's a bunch of junk, but just to make sure anything might be stuck in there. Oh, this thing's clean. Yeah, that wasn't really necessary. A little bit of air. Clean out the screw holes. I got rid of the little ridge that was here. I just got to remember how all this stuff bolts up. Yeah, yesterday I built this kayak rack. I said, oh yeah, that'll take about an hour and then I'll go start to work on the house. That took all day. Alright, I'm gonna bolt on the head with the head bolts and just loosely, and try to figure out how all this crap went and everything. What's funny is I found this nut yesterday. I'm like, what does that go to? I just stuck it aside, and what it does is it sits right behind here to catch that. And the other one's so dirty down there that I couldn't see that was the case. So I'm glad I found it. And you can see how dirty it is down there, so you can't see the nut. And then I started thinking about, well, where the coils mount, how come these are threaded and these are not? Alright, I had to watch the old video to see how this thing went. It goes up like this and bends over this way. I also looked up the head torque, which is 5.5 pounds. It's given in inch pounds, but my torque wrench doesn't do inch pounds. And the torque wrench is not going to get into these two bottom ones or these, so I got to kind of get a feeling of what that feels like and do the others the same. So I got them all snugged down, and now that I'm thinking about it, I took these off when the head was off, so it's going to be a little tough to get these in. I got those in. It's funny, after you work with something a little bit, you get more familiar with it and you don't get so scared of it. You kind of see what you can budge out of the way. The only screw I'm having a hard time with is this bottom one. I'll have to get out my mini sockets, I think, to get that. Torque wrench. This is kind of weird because we can only get a few. I gotta tighten the other ones up so they're congruent. Alright, it was coming down to almost taking the head off again because I could not get a wrench in here. What I finally did is I got a small 3/8 inch drive in there, or a 1/4 inch drive, and a screwdriver stuck into it so I could turn it, because otherwise I couldn't get this flexi in there, I couldn't get the wrench in there, I couldn't get anything in there. It's tight now. You can get this on most of them. Barely get it on those threads. So it's like you get a feeling for this. And then you try to do these down here. You don't want to booger up this one. Comparison. Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, that feels good. All right, we got water in the bucket. We got gas. I didn't prime it or anything. We got our lucky glove, which is size gargantuan. Alright, it runs. Do I sound happy? I'm not, because there's no water coming out of it. So either the impeller's cooked or the impeller's cooked. So there should be water spraying out of here, and it looks like there's some kind of pee hole here, which it probably should be coming out of too. Do we have enough water in the bucket? Looks like it. Okay, we filled the bucket all the way up. I don't think that's going to make a difference, but we'll run it again, and maybe suddenly it will work. Kind of doubting it. Pea, wonderful pea. Yeah, miracle. I was peeing faster than I can. Yeah, not only comes out of here,
but it comes out of here, which is good as an indicator when you're using the boat so that you can tell that the water pump's working. Yeah, let's see this thing work. Actually, yeah, it works, but one thing I want to check is the gear oil. I'd like to change it. I'm going to see if there's something in there, and if there's something in there, we're going to try it. Okay, so what this thing has is a oil drain, oil check. You check up here, and hopefully, hang on a second. I just want to get it a little more upright. Boy, that's pretty hard to do. Oh boy, okay. I get the impact on that. I laid it down. Don't want to mess up that screw head. I'll try the regular screwdriver first. Yeah, see, you get to push against something. More back on the stand. And yeah, it doesn't even look bad. Sometimes it gets milky looking because water gets in there and it makes it into a milkshake. Good. And before I put it in the water, I want to get the grease points like here and here and here, here. And it looks like both grease guns are like out. We'll see if we can get enough out of these to get some grease in it. Get on there. Yeah. Yep, you can see those pushing water out of it. Come on. These aren't really zerks, just an opening. I can hear it going in there, but I got nothing left in the gun. There we go, got a nice drip. See that screw way in there? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. That is to adjust the friction of this, because right now it's too whippity wappity. I'm going to try to turn that screw in. I had to do this on my other 6, and I took the screw out, lubed it up and put it back in because it was frozen. And this one's probably the same, but it's kind of weird to put lube on something that is a friction. Yeah, I got it. That's good. Let's put it on the boat. Well, yesterday I got stung by bees. I found out their home is right here. It's got a little hole. And I was raking and I raked over their home. I got stung twice. Anyway, engine sitting on it. What I'm going to do, instead of starting it up here on the dock like I should, is I'm going to bolt it down, hitch it up, row out to the middle of the pond, and start it up. I'm that confident. This is my rowboat, not my motorboat. Okay, we'll see if we can start it without hitting the camera. Let me see if both spark plug caps are on. It's funny. It's like whenever you start up an engine for the first time, you always got to take the cover off. And then it'll work. Now those caps are on. Ooh, I don't like this. Just died on its own. I was so confident. Good. I think we're going to roll back. Yeah, what it sounded like to me was it was running on one cylinder. It sounded good in the tank, of course, in the barrel, but yeah, once you put it in the water, I'm going to start it up here and see how it goes. So the only thing the guy said he did was drain the bowl, the carburetor right down there. But who knows if he did something else to the carb. Now this is a fuel adjustment here, a jet, but it only goes so far. It has a stop there, almost like, you know, when it's from the factory. It's set like this so you can go this way or that way. But I don't know if they popped that off and where this setting is now. And I was trying to pop this cap off without breaking it to see if that would make a difference. Of course, now the sun is out full blast and it's really humid, so I might do this a little bit later on, get back to it. I mean, in a way it sounded like it was starving for fuel. I could take off the fuel pump cap here and see if it's all dirty in there. I kind of wish I did more on the, you know, when it was in the barrel than here. It's a lot easier. Okay, so I took a break, ate lunch and stuff like that. Pulled the engine out. We're back on land. This is the bottom plug. This is the top plug. The top plug looks like it's firing. The bottom one looks like it's not. It's so fouled. And one thing I was thinking about, when I put on the If you can see them here. When I put on the grounds, like this one here, I put it outside here. I'm wondering if it should go inside here and that it's not getting a ground or good enough ground out here. But let's see the plugs spark just the way they are. Alright, here's the weird thing. So the one that looked kind of fouled, the lower one, does spark. The top one does not spark. I just switched the plugs and that seems to be the story. I'm going to loosen up this coil here, and hopefully I don't have to loosen the other ones, and put that washer, these double eyelets on the inside here and see if it makes a difference. No, that did not work. This really has me scratching my head. A good connection there. And the bottom one, it's so strange that it looked fouled. I mean, I didn't really pinch something out down here, did I? I don't know. I mean, when I first got it, it had spark on both. Alright, I tested this lead for continuity and it's good. So we're up now to looking at the coil. I'm taking apart this doohickey here. See if there's a good connection in there. I mean, I had good spark before. I keep saying that, I know. Okay, this connector apart. There's 3 pins in there, if you can see those. They look fairly clean. I'll shoot some carb cleaner down there. Any kind of corrosion out of there, hopefully. Tried cleaning up that connection to no avail, no spark. So I came over here to the CDI unit, and that looks like a pretty bad ground. I really don't think it's going to make a difference, but let's clean it up anyway. I mean, I've sanded that a little bit. Is that rust or what is that red crap? Am I taking off an important coating? Probably. Now we got to part this upper plug. That ground didn't make any difference at all. And we'll try to clean these up a little bit. Yeah, we cleaned that up. What looks a little suspicious is this wire here. Goes up inside of there. Okay, I just ran the yellow wire here to the tip of the spark plug because I can't reach my probe that far in, and I got a reading, and then I did one from this probe to the case, and I also got a reading, so it means the coil's not open. I'm running out of ideas, except for this wire in here, which means I gotta pull a flywheel just to look at it.